So, how do you stop being self conscious? How do you stop feeling like you're being constantly judged, or you feel like you're not good enough? You feel like other people's opinions are overwhelming, and you get that strange feeling like you're, you know, somewhere between embarrassed and fearful. Being self conscious is a weird emotion, and where do I think this comes from? Where does this feeling arise? What triggers it? A lot of the time, at least in my personal experience, I'm sure you can relate. It comes when you're over analyzing things, when you're constantly in your head and you're just not present to the moment. You're in your head, right? You're just constantly thinking. You're not giving your mind a break. Obviously, your brain is there for a reason, and it's you're supposed to use it, but you're not supposed to be using it constantly. If you're already an over analytical person, if you're very just perceptive and you tend to think a lot, then this feeling can be just overwhelming. So I think that's where it comes from, just over analyzing everything, constantly judging things too as well, not just analyzing, judging as well. And also, a lot of people might not want to hear this, but it comes from your ego. You might have a big ego if you find yourself being constantly self-conscious. Like I said, if you're self-conscious, you tend to be afraid of judgment, right? You're scared of other people's judgments, or you're scared of other people's opinions. You might be afraid of what they have to say about you, and you feel like you wouldn't be able to handle it if some negative judgment came your way. So, don't have a big ego. Realize that nobody's perfect. It's normal to feel this emotion from time to time. Nobody has perfect self-esteem or perfect confidence. It's normal to feel a little bit self-conscious sometimes, especially if you're, I don't know, trying something new for the first time and you're not very experienced with it, or, you feel like you failed at something that you should have done better, whatever the case may be. Realize that it's normal to feel this emotion, but it's not normal to be constantly be feeling it, right? This is something that you need to handle immediately, because if you're constantly self-conscious, your self-esteem and your confidence is going to take a hit. But more importantly, your ability to express yourself. If you constantly feel like you're being judged and you're not able to concentrate, your ability to express yourself, your authentic self, is going to suffer, right? You're going to be way too preoccupied with again, being way too in your head and constantly trying to monitor everybody's opinions, right? Or trying to monitor everybody's reactions to you. And this is no way to live, right? This is no way to live. You need to express yourself. You should have a healthy self-esteem and a healthy confidence. And like I said, if you're constantly self-conscious, these areas are going to suffer. So how do you overcome self-consciousness? Well, first of all, I want to share a little mantra that has personally helped me with this issue and with other issues as well. The mantra goes, no matter what happens, I can handle it. This is just a very grounding quote. This is just something that, makes you realize that you shouldn't take things too seriously, and that no matter what happens, again, you can handle it. I'm sure you've had experiences in the past where you felt, terrified of a certain situation, or you were scared of confronting a certain, situation, and you felt inadequate. But after you handled it, after you went through that situation, and, at the end of it, it wasn't so bad. So, again, no matter what happens, I can handle it. Another thing you can have in mind when you start feeling self-consciousness, or when you start feeling self-conscious, no one is perfect. Relax and stop acting. That's another good one. No one is perfect. Relax and stop acting. A lot of the time, this tension, this self-consciousness comes from, feeling like we need to put up a front, or feeling like we're not good enough, right? Like we need to portray somebody that we're not in order to please the other person, right? In order to avoid judgment from a specific person, or from a specific group. We feel like we need to act and not be ourselves because we feel inadequate. But once you let go of this, once you realize that, everybody has flaws, that nobody's perfect, and you can be yourself, and people will love you for it, for that. Not everyone's gonna love you for who you are, obviously, but that's okay. You don't need everyone to like you, right? The right people will like you for who you are, so you can let go of this desire to please everybody, or come off a certain way. Realize that everybody is self-absorbed. A lot of people, well, most people are self-absorbed. They live in their own little worlds, and they're not judging you the way you think they're judging you. Yeah, they might judge you for a second, but immediately that moment passes and they go back to focusing on themselves, right? And a little thing that I propose to you is this. Think about it. When's the last time you saw something that was super embarrassing for another person? I'm sure you have a difficult time to think of a certain situation, something that comes to mind. So realize that, again, nobody really cares. Most people are just worried about themselves. And even if they do pay attention to you, it's only going to be for a little while, right? And it's just going to go back again to them. So focus on the moment, on the present moment. Put all your focus on the present moment. Again, the problem stems from being way too analytical and way too judgmental. Focus on the present moment. Put all your focus internally. Stop looking to the outside. Focus on the inside. And what I mean by that is stop judging everything. Stop overanalyzing everything. And put your focus into you. Into being as calm as possible, right? Into enjoying the present moment. Into the mantras that I shared with you, and into expressing your authentic self. All these things combined to get together will surely help. So again, breathe, relax, and focus on the moment. This is something that has helped me in particular. So hopefully something in this video was of use to you. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. If you're new to the channel, I make videos on self-improvement. I talk about topics that are not very mainstream, but if you consider yourself an open-minded person and can handle information that's not very mainstream, and you won't get triggered if new ideas or new information is presented that goes against, mainstream, or things that you've never heard about before, this channel is perfect for you. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in the next one.